permanent Washington has created a culture where it's acceptable to lie to further your own interests. Just try not to get caught. I should know. I served in Congress for 8 years. But even when these politicians do get caught, people just shrug their shoulders and move on. No big deal, no consequences. A few examples. Dick Blumenthal lied about his military service. And of course, Elizabeth Warren. She lied about having Native American heritage. So no one should be surprised that the American people don't trust these politicians. They've got no faith that those in Washington are actually working for the people when they're so clearly working for themselves. Now, there are new accusations that George Santos, who was just elected, Congressman-elect Santos, thank you for joining us today. First question I really want to ask you, now that all of this has been revealed, is what does the word integrity mean to you?
Well, Tulsi, thank you for having me. You know, to answer your question, integrity is very important. And like I said to the New York Post, embellishing
what
my
does it
resume
mean,
was
though?
a mistake.
What does it mean? Because the meaning of the word actually matters in practice.
Of course, it means to carry yourself in an honorable way. And I made a mistake.
I just pulled up a couple things on my phone here on this liar, Mr. George Santos. Mr. George Santos admitted to lying about graduating from college and he made misleading claims that he worked for Citigroup and Goldman Sachs. He once said he had family-owned real estate and a portfolio of 13 properties. On Monday, he admitted he was not a landlord. Mr. Santos maintaining the falsehoods through this is via the New York Times, maintained these falsehoods through 2 consecutive bids for Congress, the first of which he lost. He acknowledged that a string of financial difficulties had left him owing thousands to landlords and creditors, but he failed to fully explain this in the interviews, how he was able to loan his own campaign $700,000, even though he had previous debt problems in his family. He denied committing a crime in Brazil, but there's records of his name in Brazilian court showing that he was charged with fraud as a young man after he was caught writing checks with a stolen checkbook. His name was identified. Everything's there. Looks like everything's legit. Just because it's the New York Times doesn't mean I'm not going to believe it. He's admitted to a lot of this. And then here's a kicker. From Mr. Santos, he said, I never claimed to be Jewish. I am Catholic because I learned my maternal family had a Jewish background. I said I was Jew-ish. I wasn't Jewish, I was Jew-ish. Like I was like a Jew. Charlie Kirk had one of his worst takes ever that I've ever heard him, where he tried to defend this bruh. He spent most of his segment annihilating him, saying he's basically paraphrasing, untrustworthy, a piece of crap. Even acknowledged he's in New York District 3, a moderate district. He's not some MAGA American First candidate. But at the end of the day, Charlie Kirk said, I'm going to still rock and roll with this dude as long as he votes the way I want him to vote.
We are in a big struggle, and we need to use whoever we can. And this clown from Long Island, this liar, is part right now of the vanguard of keeping the House majority. If Santos resigns, we lose 20% of our House margin. That does not help anybody. We need every vote we can to save the Republic.
I've been slamming Marjorie Taylor Greene for defending this clown. This dude is like the living embodiment of Goofy from Disney. He's just a complete goofball. I don't want anything to do with this dude. I don't support him. I'll give you my final take here, though. Charlie Kirk went on one of his worst rants that I've heard in the last couple of years. And notice what Charlie Kirk didn't say in that rant. I know it's cringe. It's like, and other people were like, Roger Stone was like, oh, Joe Biden has lied. All these lies. I'm talking about George Santos right now, not Joe Biden. I've called out Joe Biden for his lies, and I'm going to call out George Santos for his lies, too. Well, so what? Joe Biden lied, so that means I'm going to be good with George Santos? Allegedly, Brandon took showers with his daughter, too. Like, where does this stop? Some of these MAGA people have become clowns. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Roger Stone. If you defend George Santos, you're getting to that clown stage real quickly, that authoritarian clown. But at the end of the day, the thing that I'm most mad on Charlie Kirk about is, I'm not saying that George Santos should retire. I'm saying that George Santos is not somebody who's trustworthy, not somebody who's I'm supporting. And if he were in my district, I wouldn't want him to support me. But ultimately, here's where Charlie Kirk missed the boat. Ultimately, we have to leave it up to the New York 3rd District. I'm not telling him to resign. It's up to his constituents. I don't know what the legal ramifications are, what kind of pressure they can put on, but they can put pressure on him to say, we don't like you. You lied to us. But it's up to them. That's what a populist would say. Not what Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying. Oh, Joe Biden lied, so this guy, so roll with me here. Oh, support Kevin McCarthy. He's become conservative. Man, 2023 is going to be the year where a lot of these people who are MAGA-ish type people, even Marjorie Taylor Greene, I once called her one of the leading voices, the leading voice in the MAGA movement. They're going to figure out that they don't rule this thing. That's why I took the MAGA term. I'll make it whatever the hell I want to make it. Because I'm surely not going to let somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene supporting this clown and Kevin McCarthy to take MAGA and make it what they want to make it. No. MAGA's for the people. You don't get to make it what you want. Let me know what you think.